The astral energy here is so dense. It's like trying to walk through water.
I know the Great Spirit's will is in the center of Rena, but with the world in this state, the entire planet has become its body, right? So doesn't that mean we're already inside it?
I would say that is horrifyingly correct. After all, the further we climb, the denser the astral energy becomes.
What's the matter, Rinwell? Are you not feeling all right?
No, it's nothing like that. It just feels like the energy here is a little more intense than it was before.
You mean Rena's energy?
Yeah. It's like when I made contact with Dana's will in the wedge. It's almost as though I can understand what Rena's will is thinking.
But Rena's will is supposed to be a lot stronger. Aren't we risking the Great Spirit controlling us if we interact with it directly?
I don't think we have to worry about that. Rena's will is only supposed to control true Renans, like the Helganquil. If we can discern what the Great Spirit is thinking too, we might learn something, a weakness. But just to be safe, let me contact it alone.
Are you insane? Rinwell, you're gonna... Rinwell!
There was only meant to be one world. And your goal is to make them one. Is this fear? What just happened?
Are you all right? Rinwell? Rinwell, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I think.
What were you thinking? You could have gotten yourself killed!
He's right. You had us all terrified, Rinwell.
I'm sorry. I really am. But I know now. I know how the Great Spirit thinks. I know what it wants, how it feels. Rena's Great Spirit wants to complete the world.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying it's trying to make something?
Yes, exactly. Originally, Dana and Rena were meant to be one world. But that never happened. They've stayed separated, and the Great Spirit wants to finish the process.
What do you mean, one world? How is that even possible?
I don't know, but its will is clear. That's what the Great Spirit is trying to accomplish. The only problem is that since Rena's energy isn't evenly spread like Dana's, it seems like it'll vanish before that happens naturally.
So it's trying to absorb Dana while it still can, so that it can force the two planets to unite. Is that what you're saying?
The Great Spirit is scared. But it's not scared the way a rational person would be. It's more raw and undiluted, like just pure fear.
Like an animal, acting out of instinct. Although admittedly, an animal would be easier to communicate with. At the very least, I have my doubts that it recognizes us as sentient beings with a reason for coming here. Earth, water, fire, and wind energy exist in both worlds, but only darkness and light can be found within Rena and Dana, respectively. The Renis Alma, as far as we know, the only host capable of harvesting the astral energy, is composed of all six. Knowing all that, Rinwell's findings do sound plausible.
That sounds a lot like Shion's thorns, doesn't it? The whole reason the Great Spirit is trying to unite Dana and Rena into one world is in order to save itself. And if her thorns are part of the Great Spirit, then they must also be trying to save themselves?
Alphen, what is it?
We thought the only way to free your thorns was for you to die. Yet despite that, they seem to be doing everything in their power to stop that from happening to you. Something wasn't adding up. But then I just realized something. If the Great Spirit doesn't want to die, then neither would your thorns. Those same emotions, that fear, that determination, and its energy must have been the same thing that was keeping you alive. You were its vessel.
In that case, is that why her thorns caused so much pain to anyone who touched her? Because they were trying to protect themselves?
If that's all true, then... well, it's more than a little ironic.
The Great Spirit merely expresses its desires. I imagine it was the Helganquil who were likely tasked with putting together and implementing an actual plan.
Shion.
I'm okay. We need to hurry and clean this mess up before it gets out of hand.
Still, even if the current state of the world is wrong like you said, does that really make everything okay?
If the world had been whole from the start, as it should have been, there'd be no Dana and no Rena, no masters or slaves, no lords, no crown contest, maybe just peace.
Think. All this started because of the Great Spirit's desire to keep living. The only reason it craves energy is because it's dying from starvation. When you think about it like that, maybe the things it's done aren't so strange after all.
If Rena had been more like Dana, things would have worked out a whole lot better.
It's like Hevrect 35 told us. The Danan and Renan spirits are meant to be completely different beings.
Rena's energy amassing in one place led to its developing a powerful will. But that also made it crave energy, sapping Rena dry until it perished.
Whereas Dana's energy is dispersed, meaning its will never developed to the same extent. And without that hunger, Dana the planet was spared.
As for which is correct, well, I'm not sure it's our place to even say. Still, I can't help but think it reminds me a lot of the dichotomy of the human condition.
Dichotomy? What do you mean?
Those who know not satisfaction are driven to keep devouring without limit. But those who are content with their lot in life rarely fulfill their potential. I imagine it's likely that the larger Rena's Great Spirit grew, the more and more powerful its hunger also became.
Everything in moderation. When all's said and done, maybe that's the hardest thing for people to learn. Dispose of the trash.
Bloody hell! Take this! Rising water! I'm taking wall on!
I can't heal you forever!
Dragon swarm!
Let the marksman handle this! This one's mine!
Rising water! Relax! Orochi's fury! I'm not done! through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Lightning! Downfall!
Can you take it?
Eat this!
Laser Spear!
Demon Fang!
Dragon Blade!
Lurking Fury! Double Duck! Dragon Swarm! Here I come! Rising Wyvern!
I'm ready!
Kitara, frozen!
Hammer!
Let's keep our eyes on the prize. Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
Here's enough! Those flying seekers are a real pain in the butt!
I'll smash you!
Go for the weak point!
Here I come! I'm not done!
Freeze Lancer!
Leave the charges to me!
Air thrust! Photon!
Here I come!
By the power of flame! Vanish without a trace!
Not today!
One more!
Demon Fang! Try this!
Thunder Blade!
Explosive ring!
Burning Thrust!
Here I come! Now! Force freely!
Take it down!
Try this!
In here!
Explosive ring!
Shattering those
Pieces! Attack time!
Leave the enemy's arcs to me!
No complaints here! Try this! Explosive ring!
Thunder Blade!
Down on the ground! Rotating fire fiber!
Take this! Rising Wyvern! Roar! Lurking Fury! Double Demon Fang!
I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar!
Breath of life!
Pierce
Heal
through!
my wearied companion!
Rising Wyvern!
Cure!
Mirage!
I can't hold on much longer!
In a bind?
Lightning Orb! Lightning Condemned! In the sky is time! I'm out of ammo! I'm all stuffed up! Searing Flame! Reload!
Strike!
1,000 gales!
Rising Wyvern!
Freezing Storm!
Eat dirt!
Down on the ground!
Demon Fang!
Tornado!
Explosive ring!
Begin!
Lightning Condemned!
Lurking Fury!
Thunder Blade!
Crescent
By the
flash!
power of flame! Not in your dreams! Without a trace!
You're mine!
Dance in the wind!
Rising Wyvern!
Sealed!
Mirage!
Blind you anything in armor!
Do
is
it!
all mine!
Kitara, frozen!
Hammer!
These bad guys really don't mess around.
Wherever we go on this planet, there are machines littered everywhere.
It's impressive to look at as a bystander, but I sure wouldn't want to live here with all of this around.
I know what you mean. There are no fish here. I couldn't cook any of my delicious dinners for you all if we lived here.
Clearly the worst point against it.
further!
Take this! Pierce through! Rising Wyvern! You're on!
Down on the ground!
Thanks for the healing. Watch yourself, okay? Yeah, you too.
Being interrupted!
Take this! Rising Wyvern! Eat dirt!
Tornado drive!
Demon Tank!
It looks like you got this one covered.
Try harder! Hold nothing back! Strike! Double Demon Fang! Orochi's Fury!
Elusive deity!
Double Demon Fang! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Radiant Pierce!
Pierce through! Rising Wyvern! You're on! Sonic Throat! Orochi's Fury! Double Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm! Here I come! Rising Wyvern! You're on!
No further!
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me!
Got it! I'll leave it to you! Eat dirt!
Shield! Get on in there with
Try
him!
this! Explosive ring!
Lightning
Soaring
orb!
crack! Sonic throat! Rising Wyvern!
Leave the enemy arc to me!
Milky Way here!
Do it!
Totally! In an instant! Impact block!
I've used a bit too much healing.
Little help! I never miss!
Armor won't save you! Begin!
My turn!
Lunar Blast!
Rising Wyvern!
Something.
You need to
In a
be
vine,
healed!
how the mighty have fallen. Exploit
picked
the
the wrong
enemy's
fight.
weakness.
Sleep now!
Begin!
Instant!
Demon Fang!
Bloody
Rising
Used too
Wyvern!
much.
Orochi's Fury!
I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar! Dance in the wind!
Here I come! No escape!
You're being interrupted.
Here I go! Rising Wyvern!
Adversity is said to be the best motivation. A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm hearing blast.
Rising Wyvern!
Hurry!
You'll pay for that!
Take this!
I'll heal you all! Healing circle!
Forgive me, Dr. Shion.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
Nothing gets by me.
Regeneration!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire!
Light after light!
Here's a healing arc!
First aid!
Try harder! Not a chance! Struck!
Here goes! There!
This one's mine!
Dance in the wind!
Ignite!
Elusive deity!
Wide open!
It won't escape me!
Healing arc! Arc field! First aid! Water astral energy! Annihilation! Raising the
Unleash your ruin. It's in your hands now.
Stay away from my friend! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Out of the woods, it seems.
Let me show you what my heart needs. Let's go!
Rising Wyvern!
Dance in the wind by the
Try hard, not a chance! No escape! Rising Wyvern!
Can't get out of this!
Let's go!
Eat this!
Breath of life.
Demon
Feel my
Fang!
weary companion.
Radiant Ring! Take this! Rising Wyvern!
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Now! You're mine!
It's weakened!
Demon Fang! This ends now! Explosive Ring!
What I'd do without it.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
This one's mine!
Here I come! Rising Wyvern!
Require a hand.
Orochi's Fury! Okay, here I go! Rising Wyvern! Mirage!
Shine!
Double Demon Fang! I'll burn it all! Flaming Pillar! Fire!
Lightning Orb!
Can't get out of this! Yours to be let free! Try harder! Now!
I'll be saving this one!
Burn in hell! Demon Fang!
Down on the ground!
Explosive Ring!
Healing Circle!
Sonic Thrust!
I owe you,
Rising
Sion.
Wyvern!
Healing is what my arts do best. Get toasty!
Bird Strike!
These bad guys really don't mess around.
Opponent like... It should be easy.
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Radiant Fire! Raging Cascade!
Double Demon Fang!
Glacial Spear!
Demon Fang!
It can hide itself?
Amazing!
Here, Ranger!
Freak!
What can they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Astro Bombs!
That's my cue.
Shut him down! I'm not done!
Now! Astral Energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well
My
done.
turn! No escape! Try harder! My turn!
Without a trace!
Burn in hell! Demon Fang! Explosive Ring!
Raging Storm! This one's mine! It looks like you got this one covered. Here,
Take
let me
this.
help. Arrows! I can't hold on much longer!
Rising Wyvern! Mirage!
Seismic
Let me help.
I must remember my limits.
Sonic Thrust! Rising Wyvern!
I'm out of ammo.
Mirage!
Back into the fray.
Take this! Strike!
Let's get you all tucked away.
Pierce through! Demon Fang! Try harder!
Further.
Now! Stay away from my friend!
Tempest Wall!
This one's
Here
all
goes.
mine!
Go get him!
Not today!
May a thousand gales
Demon
raise the
Fang!
dread.
Try this!
Here! Gusty nail!
Explosive Ring!
Cyan Instant! Light Blossom Energy!
I'll stop it, Star!
Thanks, Kisara!
I have no limits! Sonic Thrust! Demon Fang! Mirage! Double Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm! I can't move!
Don't give up! In here! I... won't lose!
I
never miss!
They smite with blackened blade! Take this!
By the power!
Escape!
Vanish with
Leave the tossing to me! Hitting power! Take this! Strike!
Don't mind if I do. Explosion!
Here I come!
Do it!
With the earth! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
We may be a touch beyond our depth.
We barely got a look at the thing.